Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet. Welcome back to another Starcraft 2 Daily Masters, and it's going to be some Starcraft 2. So yes, let's introduce our players. First of all, down the bottom right side of the map, it is going to be Scarlett. She is 20 years old. She hails from Canada and she plays for Team Acer. So very, very awesome stuff there. And her opponent, down the bottom left side of the map, it is Ryung. He is 22 years old from South Korea and he plays for Team Axiom. And this may have been from the Aces Team Story Cup. I think so, because it's got the big labels down. That's usually what the Aces guys usually cook up. So, well, the Aces Team Story Cup guys usually cook up. So anyway, moving on. This should be a pretty awesome game. Yeah, it's definitely not taken from DreamHack Winter, because DreamHack Winter, they had GameHeart replay interface for most of the games, and this one doesn't. So anyway, let's no longer talk about the replay interface. Let's talk about the game, which unfortunately not much is happening so far. Got a hatch into pool build coming out of Scarlett. We've got a early orbital coming out of Ryung, and we've got a fast Reaper, which will almost certainly get countered by some sort of Lings following on with the Queens coming out. So yeah, not too much. I am actually quite tempted to just speed it up right now because there's not really a lot happening, but here we go. We're actually going to have a fast command center, so that should be pretty awesome. Going to get some nice fast economy, and of course the Reaper providing a little bit of harassment, and even something just as small and insignificant as a Reaper can sort of put you in a defensive mindset. It'll just come around, and if it stays alive for long enough, if it stays alive for like 2 or 3 minutes, then you're not thinking about how do I take the opponent's base, you're thinking about where's that damn Reaper, and it's a bit harder to think about getting a sort of attack organised, getting a bunch of roaches out there, getting a massive amount of Lings and stuff like that, because you have to worry about this damn Reaper. And even with Queens out, the Reapers can potentially still do some damage if they get in the right circumstances. Oh, here we go. Very, very nice job on the Reaper. Not quite able to kill that worker, but it was so close. And the Reaper does manage to get away relatively unscathed. So yeah, pretty good stuff there by Scarlett so far, but she is going to have to watch out on this worker. If the Reaper comes back sometime soon, it can definitely snipe that off with like 1 or 2 shots, and I'm sure that's exactly what Ryung would like to do, but looks like he's going for just pure harassment right now. Oh, dope. That's not he's going to realise his mistake in just a second. He actually didn't land it on the reactor properly. Very, very unfortunate. There we go. Cancels the Hellion and moves it over. So it's a few seconds, which he is never going to see again. But, I mean, these things happen even to the best of us. And the drone is halfway regen its health. So it's getting less and less likely that Reaper will be able to take it out. Although I feel like that Reaper still wants to take out that drone. And oh, just so much Queen damage is going to have to back up there. And going up the main ramp, not a good option anymore. It's got to go around the sides, just scoot in around there maybe, but it's not giving it a crack. Actually, it's not going for it. So very interesting. We finally got some Hellions out here and a couple more as well. We got the Starport going for a fast Banshee, and we do have Banshee Cloak as well. I was just thinking, is that Hellion Cloak or something? Hellions would be insane if you could get Cloak on Hellions. That'd be too insane, I feel like, which is probably why they don't allow it. But the Reaper just got a little look in there. Pretty sure. Yes, the Reaper did see the third base. So now Ryung, despite this Reaper not actually doing anything anymore in terms of attack, well, he got a creep tumor, so that's something, but has managed to keep a good scout off on most of the stuff going on. Oh, the creep tumor barely survives, and yeah, the Queens are not going to be happy about their little babies being knocked away by the Reapers, but a bunch of Hellions come out, and what do we got here? We got a Reaper, a bunch of Hellions, first Banshee coming out as well. Cloak should be finished approximately when that Banshee gets in range, and if Ryung decides to go for a double attack here, sends the Banshee into this base, he will actually be in for surprise because there are some Spore Crawlers going down there. So Ryung choosing to play it safe with his harassment force, going for the third base, can perhaps knock this down. It's a lot of damage right there, and a couple Marines, a couple more Hellions. They've definitely got a lot of damage, and I feel like actually going in and taking out this hatchery is not a bad idea. They are going for some queens though. Could maybe take out one of them. There we go, that queen does go down. The other two are actually in quite a bit of trouble here. So many Hellions with some Marine support, with some Reaper support. And the Banshee, I don't know where the Banshee is. It's over here, just taking down an Evo chamber. Banshee's going for the easiest target it could possibly find. But this will be the third queen that goes down right here, if it does manage to go down. With the Hellions are starting to look a little bit warped, a little bit weary. And with the introduction of two queens from the main base, there's suddenly, as well, Scarlett was looking good, but the queens are getting a little bit out of position, running away without their third one. And the Banshee does manage to take another one down. We've got the Overseer coming out. But whether or not it'll be in time to save this base, I don't think so. The second Banshee has come out. It's gone nuts, and the third base does go down. So Ryung losing a bit of forces, but I think the damage he did was definitely worth it. He took out at least two queens. I think 3 total. If you have a look at the units lost, yes, 3 queens. He didn't lose a lot, and most importantly, he denied that third base. Completely owned it. And I gotta say, Ryung, he's got to be in a good position right now. He's in a very, very good position. He's got to feel good about how he's doing. Up against Scarlett, of course, he hasn't got a ton of workers killed, and Scarlett's still doing a fantastic job, but her ability to just build a ton of workers while she gets out the necessary army is going to stagnate quite heavily now that she doesn't have that third base at her disposal. She's going to have to start building a lot of units to deal with this. And of course that means she's not going to be able to build a lot of workers. And here we go, third Banshee coming down, doing a lot of attack. I mean, Ryung has basically turned what's most commonly known as a harassment force into an actual ball-busting brigade of Terran forces who just go in there and actually have the DPS to wipe stuff out. So the Hellions not so much, but they do the they're basically escorts for the Banshees. They take care of the Lings and they take care of the Queens too, and there's enough of them. And so far, Scarlett, man, just lost that third base twice now. She's going for a third base at the other location, and if Ryung realizes that that's there, then he can take it out with the Banshees, and then Scarlett is going to be in a lot of trouble. She absolutely 100% has to get this third base up, otherwise things are going to start to go very, very bad for her in the near future. The Overseer is going over. We've got a single muter coming out, but I don't think the muter's going to make it in time. SCV going for a missile turret here. Maybe this is going to betray to Scarlett that Ryung is thinking about a third base. Oh, we're going for all of the changelings. Managed to get all of them. It's a bit hard with 4 to manually target all of them, but of course Ryung with so many Hellions, so much splash damage, they all did go down. And here we go, the first muter's coming out from Scarlett. We know that Scarlett loves her muter play, and we'll see if she can start to turn the game around a little bit. We do have a missile turret down there already, so great play by Ryung. She's having to dance in and out to try and get workers off the gas. Managed to get one. So not all that effective so far. However, the muters, if played correctly, can lock down this third base. However, Ryung does have a fairly decent amount of Marines out on the field so far, so it is going to be hard for Scarlett to do that. As long as the Marines are out there, they're sort of juking and jiving all over the place. You've got a bunch of Hellions as well to deal with the Lings on the field, and I don't know if this is going to be enough. I feel like Scarlett could just do a full-on surround and maybe make it happen. I mean, there's just too many Lings. I don't feel like the Hellions could stand up to that many Lings. I don't think that Ryung has blue flames. No, he doesn't. So even these amount of Hellions, I think the Lings would just own a fair amount of them. But here we go. The Banshee's coming in once again. They could just smoke through this Spore Crawler quite easily, I feel like. If they know it's there, they're actually going through it around to the other side. Going for the spawning pool. That's interesting. I don't think they're going to have time to do it, though. The muters happen to be over this side of the base, and good stuff there. Meanwhile, Ryung doing a small attack force down near the middle of the map. Going to take care of some creep. I don't know if he's going to be able to do much else, though. He's got a fair amount of Marines, but the muter numbers are just increasing so rapidly. I really feel scared for this relatively small force if Scarlett decides to move in and just starts to own things. I mean, the Banelings are starting to be a major threat right here. And here we go, almost getting the surround. Ryung just managing to get away, but the Banelings wiping out everything. And now the Banelings going nuts in here, and a bunch of Lings coming in here could do massive amounts of damage. The Marines still relatively surviving. They're going to be able to take down this Queen, I feel like, and keep knocking out the creep. And Scarlett is down to the age-old conundrum versus Terran players. as to how do I get a million banelings out at once, because that is what she needs right now. It's definitely turned into the triple M plus Widow Mine versus Mutaling, and we've got all the upgrades going down that everybody likes, and Scarlett is just going to have to work on her baneling numbers, going to have to keep her creep spread going, which is going to be a little bit tougher than she would envision. Oh, the Muta's not paying attention. At least 3 or 4 of them do go down there. So a bit of a mistake from Scarlett, and it may not seem like much, but that's 400 gas that just got absolutely demolished there, and gas is so hard to get. I'm actually surprised she hasn't got gas mining at this 4th base. It really, really is something that she should be focused on, but yeah, I mean, she's just got to get that stuff going. I mean, the Muta numbers have been knocked down a little bit. Only 13 left. The missile turret is a bit out of range for these, whatever the hell they're called, supply depots. But Marines right over there, got to make sure that they do not get anywhere near. You're actually killing some workers. A bunch of Widow Mines coming down. A little bit, I suppose the southern approach is covered by these 2 missile turrets. There is 2 there, as well as a 3rd there, so that should be okay. What do we got over this side? 1 missile turret. When the Muta numbers get high enough, that is not going to be enough for that base. So the natural expansion may be a little bit weak for a mass Muta advancement. Here we go, the Marines moving out. Just having a bit of a scout. Does get taken out by a lot of lings. Only sees about 5 or 6 banelings though, which I'm sure is going to make Ryung very, very happy. But that is not going to make Ryung very, very happy. He lost quite a few SCVs. No, actually, we maybe lost like 3 or 4. We managed to get most of them out of the way soon enough. And we've actually got a Thor there as well. We've seen a lot of Terran players going off against this massive Muta play of the Zerg player, actually busting out a couple of Thors. They never really upgrade him too much, but it's the extra long-range Muta, long-range spread-out attack on the Mutas, which make it a bit hard for the Mutas to sort of dance in and out all over the place. They're also great for base defense, a million times better than Marines are concerned for base defense when it comes to Mutas coming in. Oh, the Marines getting taken out, but Ryung not exposing the majority of his force. On the creep so far, he's been playing it pretty safe, sending in small forces every now and then. Got a bunch of Marines coming in here, nice little drop. Is Scarlett going to see it? Yes, she is. And they all go down very, very fast. It's a pity there was not a Widow Mine being dropped off there by Ryung, because that could have done a bunch of surprise damage there, but unfortunately not. A bunch of Baneleys just coming out for a bit of a scout. There is 1 Widow Mine. It hasn't got any kills though, so not all that good. We've got a bunch of lings being burrowed right there. Don't tell me Ryung has to wait some scans. Oh! Scarlett going for the main attack, sending everything in. The Bailey's doing a great job. She's got Overseers, obviously, scanning out the Widow Mine. Some reinforcements coming in. But Ryung, man, I don't think he's got quite enough reinforcements to deal with this. I don't think he's producing enough. He's got another army back here. And this army has got to hope that they can hold off this attack, but because, yeah, I mean, Scarlett just completely overwhelmed this force before, really, really badly, and she's actually knocked over this thing, or maybe Ryung did, I really don't know, but let's take a drink. I don't actually have a drink, I may have to pause this game, but we'll just keep going anyway, and just been talking too much in the last 20 minutes, man. It's been absolutely nuts. The Muta's going in. Oh, a bunch of Marines over there. This is going to be a little bit bad. The Mutas don't quite have enough to want to deal with this many Marines. I mean, they maybe could, but nah. I would not blame Scarlett at all for not wanting to engage that force, but yeah, this area right here, man, she really, really needs some more creep over there. She's managed to get a lot of creep over there, but yeah, not so much in the middle part. Ryung has been doing a fantastic job of just knocking back the creep whenever he sees it. And here we go, the Muta's actually coming around, going for this 4th base. The Marines trying to head him off, not getting the best positioning. So not getting a beautiful thing. Oh, here, this is pretty good. The Muta's going to have to run. They're going to lose a few of them. Marines getting a couple of kills there, but most of the Mutas do get away. How many Mutas have we lost so far? And 10. 10 is not a huge number. It's not bad. It's not a huge number though. And so I think approximately these guys are got to be... Well, Scarlett's actually lost a bit more, man. She's lost like 13,000 as compared to Ryung's 1,000. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It must just be all lings and stuff like that. Who knows? But regardless, moving on. The Muta's come around again. But here we go. The main force coming in, scaring these forces away. And I don't know, man. I really feel like Scarlett should be sending some ling harassment, or even better, baneling harassment down to this base. while she's messing around up there, because she's got most of the army up there. And I mean, just rolling some Banelings in here could definitely be a good idea. But here we go, Ryung actually coming in on the top side. He is definitely dedicated to getting rid of all of the creep that he possibly can, and he's basically wiped out that top half. So he's making sure there is no creep on his side of the map at all. He's not really pushing in too much further. He's just making sure there's no creep on his side of the map, and that's not too bad. So putting a drop down here as well, only Marine, so I don't feel like they're going to be able to actually take out the base. But scaring away a couple of the workers, yeah, not too much of a bad idea. And actually using the distraction to go in here, he's just realized the rocks are down though, so he's going to chew through those. And that's going to take up some valuable time that he would otherwise be actually hitting the hatchery right there. Couple of Banelings coming in, not really doing a whole lot more. Ryung, is he going to go for it here? Is he going to try and snipe the third base? I do not know. Scarlett is just waiting for all of her forces to be in position before she just completely owns Ryung's army out here. She's warping in some final Banelings, and I feel like she's going to move out any second with her entire force. She's got the creep here. She's got a ton of Widowmine she has to deal with, so she's probably going to try and send the Lings out first. But here we go, the flanking side over here. Going to be trying to flank these forces from the side. And yeah, she's doing a pretty good job. Not that many forces coming out. And here we go, here's the main engagement coming out from Scarlett. The Thor just gets completely owned. I don't think he managed to pick it up. And the Muta's doing a great job going. Oh, did he manage? No, I don't think so. I think that Thor is a new one because it's got no kills on it. And the Mutas take it out. So good job there. And Scarlett choosing not to pursue the forces all the way over there. She does, of course, have these Marine forces to deal with. And in that huge engagement, another drop managed to come down and managed to take out the hatchery. Absolutely phenomenal job there by Ryung. Attacking on all sides. Doing a fantastic job of multitasking Scarlett's army so far. And yeah, I mean, look at this. Another drop coming down there. Not really killing a lot. But we do have 11 workers lost so far. Not a huge amount. Scarlett's still doing a pretty good job. But Ryung has built so many workers that he's still in an exceptionally good position in this game. He's got 4 bases mining quite happily. Even got a planetary up there for any Ling incursions or Baneling incursions that are going to come in. This one Marine is going to take care of all the creep tumors. He's going to try anyway. But here we go. Muta come in. The numbers are just so big that missile turrets are not even a threat anymore. But Marines coming down from the old reinforcement point over here and are going to be able to knock those Mutas away quite easily. Oh my god! That Marine, was that one Marine actually doing all that damage? You got to be crapping me. There must have been a second Marine somewhere. I don't believe that one Marine did all that damage. But anyway, the Queen is down to 4 health. Got another drop coming down here. But Scarlett's definitely ready for it right now. And she does have the Ultras out as well. Ultra armor nearly finished. 3 more Ultras coming out. So she is sick of playing around with these goddamn Marines. She wants to just completely own them. Bunch of Marines coming down. It get owned by an Ultras. And if only the Ultras had better leg muscles, they could jump up into the air and just slow motion, just destroy the medevac in midair. And that would be awesome. So here we go. It looks like they're actually equal on bases. Scarlett, having lost her bases a few times, has not got around to getting a 6th base yet, and she definitely does need one when facing off against Ryung, who has started off with a 5th base, getting the planetary. Ling just getting burrowed down here, but there's a missile turret right next to us. Oh no, not a missile turret, actually a sensor tower. Another drop here. Ryung is relentless with his drops. He's not really dropping enough to kill a hatchery, but he does damage to it, and that damage adds up over a few drops. So there we go, and Ryung, as you can see, consistently done a ton of good stuff in terms of actually dealing with the creep. This creep is split down the middle. Scarlett has not been able to get any creep over on Ryung's side of the map. And she tried a few times, but Ryung just knocks it back continuously. Here we go, another Marine drop. You knock back, and you guys just going to be dropping off on the top side. We've also got, look at this, we've got a Greater Spire coming on. And you know what that means? That means Broodlords are coming out. So Scarlett's just going for absolutely everything she possibly can. The medevac is just going to be getting out of there, hopefully. I don't know if Ryung cares too much about the medevac. He's getting, yeah, there he goes. Finally realizes it's there, grabs it, just shooms out of there. Should be all good. What do we have going down here? Looks like there may be an attack going down the bottom side. The medevac is just going to catch it. As he's running away, he's seeing a few bunch of Mutas going there, and that is going to be beautiful. But I mean, Ryung's got sensor towers everywhere, so he can definitely see all of this stuff coming in. And Scarlett realizing that Ryung probably sees this, moving a lot of her ground forces up to there, but they do get shooed away, and meanwhile she's going For this one, 3 missile turrets and a Widow Mine. That is just too much, even for the mutas. I mean, they could do it, but it would not be a good idea. And most of the workers actually surviving there. So Ryung has been so good at defending his bases so far. And Scarlett is just going to be like, what the hell do I have to do to deal with Ryung? Because there's just so many drops going down continuously. Every single one of her bases just being hit. Boom, 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 boom. Constantly being hit. And Scarlett just have to run all over the place. Look at these mutas actually getting away there. A lot of Ryung's forces chasing her away. Not so many Marines, but a lot of Marauders. So Ryung obviously knows how to counter the Ultras, and he has gone for a ton of Marauders. Still building a ton of Marines though at the same time, so he's definitely got everything covered, but his Thor numbers are starting to get up there as well. He's actually going for level 3 Thor attack, which is going to be freaking awesome, and we'll see exactly how well that does. Looks like Ryung is actually going for a push here. Or is he going for a push? I'm not sure. He's moving out. A lot of these forces, the Ultras are definitely going to be in a lot of trouble here. But the mutas trying to snipe as many Marauders as they can. Marines going down as well. The mutas doing as much damage as they can while trying to stay out of range of the Thors. Meanwhile, an Infestor's coming down. We've got a whole bunch of Banelings coming down. Scarlett finally moving in with her forces, but she's looking, you know, I don't know actually. I thought she was looking a little bit threadbare, but the Ultra's coming in, doing a great job here, wiping everything out, and suddenly Scarlett is back on the offensive. She's back in the driver's seat after that excellent defense. And Ryung, man, I mean, he had to do something, but he obviously pushed himself in a little bit too far there. He got Infestors taking out his army. He got being hit from like 3 different directions, blah, 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 blah. It did not work out that well for him. And he didn't take out the hatchery, man. He got a few workers, no doubt, but didn't take out the hatchery. And Scarlett, realizing that the game is to her advantage right now, is going to go for a quick attack right here with the mutas, going to see what she can do. Meanwhile, there is a drop going down for Ryung, so Ryung is not going to be slacking off at all. He just jumps straight back. Oh, this base is wide open. Oh no, the Marines actually coming through. That's not a lot of Marines though. I feel like the mutas could take care of that, but there are more Marines down there. Another drop coming down here. It's the same drop, I think. Managed to take out that Infestor, so great job there. And Scarlett just double teaming these 2 northern bases. The Marines have to go the long way around to try and defend them, although he is sending a bunch of Marines down here to sort of cut the mutas off. However, the mutas are just so fast, man. They can easily get around here. We got some medevac still going on. And yeah, look at this. Just putting a bunch of crit down there, as well as a Ling being burrowed. So that should be interesting. And Scarlett going for a bunch of forces down the bottom. Going to be double teaming this base as well. The 3rd base and the 5th base. I think this is a 4th base maybe. And Ryung realizing that this base is going to be a focus. Putting a ton of missile turrets. No missile turrets on this base yet. But Ryung does have most of his forces in here actually. A couple of workers going down, but the main army going down. And Scarlett, when is she going to move in a ground army to this 3rd base? I feel like that's definitely a possibility. The medevac still going nuts here, man. And look at these corruptors out there. They've actually got 3 attack and 1 armor. So 2 more army going to be coming out for those guys very, very soon. Has she started building Broodlords? Not yet, but I got to feel like that's on the cards. I mean, why else would you build a Great Aspire if you didn't want Broodlords? Here we go. The mutas going around this other side. Maybe she wants the ground army on the top side. I don't know, but going for the missile turrets all over the place. Deciding to pull out, actually. I suppose there's not really much you can actually destroy there except, I don't know, production facilities and stuff like that. Full medevacs coming in here. This could be dangerous if they start destroying tech structures. The Great Aspire is there. The infestation pit. I mean, the Great Aspire going down, that would be absolutely horrible from Scarlett's point of view. And she's actually having a bit of trouble dealing with those Marines. Didn't want to fully engage them, but eventually she does take them down. And another bunch of Marines coming in here, coming down to this base. And a lot of workers could actually be killed here, but still, the Banelings, the Ultras, everything is just absolutely owning everything right here. And neither player's really got into the massive, massive amount of workers. They're sort of stopped around the 45 mark and just sort of sat back. Scarlett was probably around 50 actually, but here we go, finally building the Broodlords. And this may be the end, although Ryung is going for a bunch of Vikings, so he knows how to deal with Broodlords. Even if he perhaps doesn't know that Broodlords are actually coming. I feel like the muta numbers are starting to go down from Scarlett. So she's going to have to do a lot of good hits there. There's so many Marauders in this army though. I don't feel like we can really rely on the Ultra. It's going to come down to some good Fungals. And then leading into the Ultras. And here we go, Broodlords as well. And this is going to be tough. The Thors will have to switch over their weapon to really deal with this, and they have switched over. Their Thors are starting to do a good damage. The Vikings coming down, but the Mutas are going to take them out straight away. The Ultras coming in, just sort of providing a shield, providing a bit of a harassment on the front lines while the Broodlords do the main damage here. And Ryung, what does he have to deal with these Broodlords? I'm not sure he's got anything. He can send out a few Vikings, but the Muta force is still crazy enough to deal with any Viking harassment. And meanwhile, the Broodlords are just taking out everything in sight. And with the Ultras on the front line, I mean, Ryung's main ground army is going to have to deal with the Ultras. They don't have any spare capacity left to deal with the Broodlords. And I think this is over because he's just got nothing left he can really throw at the Broodlords here. They just came out of nowhere and they're owning everything. And I think that is it for Ryung. Man, my game's actually slowing down. The FPS is down the bottoms. Maybe I shouldn't be playing EVE Online in the background, but whatever. We're just going to be moving through, having a crack at this game, and awesome stuff. I think Scarlett has taken it right here. I think she is going to be owning everything. There we go. There's the GG from Ryung, and Scarlett has won this game. So fantastic job there from Scarlett. Excellent victory. And yeah, man, it's just weird. That was a game with everything in it, I gotta say. We didn't see battle cruisers or anything, but well, I mean, we pretty much saw everything else, and no swarm hosts either. But whatever. That was Scarlett at her absolute best, owning a Terran player. And Ryung, man, I gotta congratulate him on the amount of drops he did. He did the most drops I've ever seen in a game. He was dropping. It was like a drop a minute. Literally through the entire game, there was like a drop a minute. It's insane. Absolutely insane. And Scarlett really was going all over the place to try and defend against those drops. I mean, it's just nuts. Look, there's even a drop over here just in the middle of nowhere. That's crazy. Anyway, that has been the game. Thank you very much for watching this game. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game. I'll catch you guys later.